Oh, it is your favorite bald, chubby, bearded, Earth Day wearing t-shirt of a man. It's Midnight in the Bay, episode 233. They said I wasn't going to make it to 233. They thought I was going to stop at 5 episodes. This guy's going to jump off a bridge. He's going to eat himself to death at McDonald's. But we haven't done either of those, and we're still making episodes. Very happy about that. Appreciate all the support out there. Loving it. Was told that we're just under Joe Rogan. We're about at 100 billion views on YouTube, and we're just right under him. So we're catching up. You better watch it, Rogan. There's another bald guy coming for your job. I got tons of misinformation I could spread, baby. You have no idea. No college. But anyways, you guys are excited because I'm here with another host or another guest. It's Austin Carr.
Hey.
And
you guys are excited. Just so you just fucking get on board. You are excited.
No. I know they're excited because they hate when it's just me and I'm just rambling and I hate marriage and kids suck. And
so there's another name and you guys like, you're already excited for this one.
Oh, they love it. People have told me, I like when you have comedians on, you guys talk comedy.
Yeah, I like how you came on with like old school hip hop cat on morning radio. Like they've been preying on my downfall, Sway. They didn't want me to make it this far.
Yeah, well, you gotta bring it hard in the beginning to catch them, and then you can kind of calm down a little bit once they're here.
Oh, you're gonna calm down. Okay, good. I was hoping you were gonna calm down a little bit. I was hoping you were gonna chill, dude. You're coming in a little hot.
Yeah, well, I gotta dip in.
You gotta dip one nut in, see how it feels.
The nicotine's flowing right now. It's got me jacked up. The heart rate's moving.
Be water, my friend.
But people are excited that I got a guest. I know it. I know they're gonna be pumped to hear this. We've got a comedian on. That's what you are, I think, right?
That's what they say. Word on the street.
That's what your mom says.
That's how she's labeled me. And I call it libel. That's how she's libeled me.
He's a comedian. I got that last night. My grandma, who's like 94, she's like, tell me a joke. And then I told her a joke. She's like, oh, that's nice.
She's like, that's a loose term, huh? Comedian. It's kind of like I read.
Right. And a lot of people who aren't comedians say, oh, he's a comedian, when someone's being a smartass. That's really all we are.
Character defamation.
Right. It's nothing to brag about. And my mom, was there, and she was like, I can't wait till you have a clean set, then I could see you.
Yeah, they always want the clean set, and it's like, don't hold your breath.
Yeah, she doesn't like crude humor, even though we've watched like Caddyshack and other movies. I don't, you know what I mean?
It's like, Mom, you imprinted on me. Where do you think I got this from? All right, you've been doing dirty shit.
Well, she can get dirty. I mean, she's got stinky farts.
There you go.
My mom always used to set me up with farts because hers are silent but deadly. I've never actually heard my mom fart. No joke, my whole life. And she would set me up at like family parties where she'd be cooking and talking in the kitchen, just like lay a nasty one. And she,
like a landmine.
And this is the woman that has taught me manners. She's told me, make sure you say thank you. And she's just laying down farts, not giving a fuck. And everyone's looking at me because I was always the chubbiest guy in the room.
You're the fall guy. You're the scapegoat. You're the patsy, dude. It's a rule for thee and not for me. All right. She tells you to keep the farts in so she can lay them down.
Right, and I couldn't say shit. Even now, I can't really say shit because she pays for stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the one downfall about being a millennial. We still get those gift cards and checks written every month, but we got to handle their BS, and we complain about it.
Yeah.
So I hate talking to older people that are like, when I was 18, I was working in the factory and had my own place, and I was taking care of my own stuff. I'm like, that was 1946.
It's a different time. You could walk into any position. You could walk into NASA and be like, I think I can get this thing off the ground. They could be like, get him a desk in an office.
Yeah, there was no college requirement. One could check stuff too. You could just say, oh yeah, I went to Harvard.
Yeah. I've been there.
Right.
Couple times.
Right, I've sold drugs there. I mean, school there. So, yeah, just...
Yeah, they had it easy. I live with my...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say old people don't understand.
They don't be getting it though. I live with my 90-year-old grandma. She's gonna be 91.
Oh
She was born
shit.
in 1931, and just like the world was her oyster, you know.
Yeah.
She
Are
just like
you right. They went everywhere, they
went
traveled
everywhere,
the
did
world.
everything, and
But
now I'm just going through their Netflix queue trying to fucking start it over and get a little piece of something. It's like I'm never gonna do that. I'm just gonna have a taste of your photo albums.
right. I know it's funny. They got all these stories, and I'm like, oh, they're like, tell us a story. Like, went to Chipotle yesterday and
Yeah.
saw a guy jerking off on the bus. You know.
I came home and I started playing with my penis. The two things weren't correlated. It wasn't because of him. It was just
And then
maybe it
the
was
image,
like incepted into me the idea.
and then the image of him popped up in your head, and you couldn't finish, and now you feel ashamed and horny, and it's horrible.
You got to go away half cocked,
Oh, never good.
hang your head in shame.
That's dangerous. You go off in your
it's,
pants, you know?
it's dangerous.
The hammer could go off by accident, you know?
Yeah, that's a good name for it. The hammer.
The
Keep
hammer.
trying to sprinkle that in. Maybe it'll catch.
Yeah. I feel like if I called it the hammer, well, I guess I'm married already, but I was to say it would be disappointing. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
mean, it could. So they sell.
Mine's like a toy hammer. Mine's like one of those little
That's one
plastic.
of those ones that squeaks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I squeak out of breath. Yeah.
Uh,
So, what's up with you? It looks like you're in like a garage with like a black light.
yeah, dude, I live in a garage. This is like where I socially distance from my at-risk grandma when I go out and do comedy. I come in here in the quarantine chamber, and all the and all the
Does,
gases come in and clean me up.
does she leave you a little dinner at the door?
No, I gotta. She's blind, so it would be fun to see what she would whip up.
Oh my
That would
God.
be fun, just to see what
Yeah.
you come up with. Is like it's bacon and jelly. I think it's good,
Oh my
but
God. She's blind.
yeah. So my girlfriend and I do the cooking, and she's good in, like, it's like one of those things where it's like she wakes up and she can make oatmeal, but that's pretty easy. That doesn't take a lot of hand-eye coordination.
Right, but the fact that she could still make oatmeal blind is amazing.
Well, she's like legal. It's like legally blind is not necessarily like living in darkness. Like she's not
Oh,
at the
right.
point where she needs echolocation, but she just like sees shapes and
She's
a
like
general.
Mr. Magoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. She can't really see shit. Yeah. Does she have those really thick glasses?
She has, yeah, she's always got one pair around her neck and one on her eyes.
Oh,
And
that's
that's the
gangster.
backup. That's like when you're in an action movie and you run out of one magazine, you throw that gun and pick up the other shotgun that's around your neck.
Yeah.
That's kind of her MO.
I hope she does that too. These aren't working. Wow. Living with blind grandma. That's a trip. I bet you
Yeah,
get
dude.
material out of that.
It's a trip for her too, if you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
she
yeah.
falls. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't fall. Yeah,
She
it's
be tripping.
she bitches be tripping. Old ladies be tripping, dude.
Wait,
Old
and
black
real quick, are you in the will? Do you get the house?
dude. That I what's sad is it's probably not. it's like
Oh
it's like I'm
man.
here doing the legwork, but someone else is gonna swoop in and spike that volleyball down.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's all
But
good.
hey, I commend you.
Yeah, I love her. I get to go out and do comedy. I don't have to pay fucking an ass load of rent what I was paying. It's
Right.
hard. It's hard living in California doing comedy, dude. It's like you pay fucking 40% in income taxes if you're doing your taxes right, 30% in streaming services,
Right. No.
20% in parking tickets.
Yeah, getting around. Yeah. No, it is. It's you gotta have support from family. You gotta have like a good job.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, I don't
So
know
we're
how
holding
people.
each other down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's dope though that you get to do that, and then that saves a little money, so you can do comedy because it is tough. I don't even get to hit as many mics or like I'm not gonna. It's hard doing a free show now because just the money you lose.
Oh, dude. And it's like I don't know what you're experiencing with producing right now, but it's literally like you have to run a free show. Like you can't charge. You can't even fucking give these tickets away. It's like I don't know if everyone's scared of another way of COVID, or they're just
Well, you got me nervous because I gotta finish making an event Eventbrite tonight for a gig that I have in like a week and a half at a new venue.
mm-hmm.
Now it is on a Friday night.
Oh, you're set. You're fine.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
It,
honestly,
it's downtown Walnut Creek.
yeah.
It's a hot spot. It's a hot restaurant. But here's the catch.
Okay.
I'm charging $20 a ticket,
I mean, the
and
the
it's
going rate is
but this is
15.
but this is what you get. You get cocktail hour from 7 to 8, which obviously you still got to buy drinks, but that's part of the night, and then comedy from 8 to 9:30.
Hmm.
And then at from 10 to 1 in the morning, the guy has a DJ and like a dance floor.
Oh, dope. So you got a little
Yeah,
after party.
right. So I mean, for $20, you're getting a comedy show and a dance area where only people that have tickets can go.
Yeah, dude. I mean, with inflation, you're basically charging a nickel for comedy right now. It's like I paid
Right.
$60 for my Postmates today, and
Right.
it's just money. Yeah, it's
Well, most places you gotta pay a cover charge, and I think people are looking for shit to do, and I'm hoping this is people's mindsets. They're in Walnut Creek. Hey, instead of going to San Francisco, that's far, and you got to pay more in gas. Let's go to downtown Walnut Creek.
yeah. It is funny
So,
how people like
yeah,
expect you to give your comedy away for free. It's
I
like
know, I
you're an
know,
asshole if you charge $20 for tickets. It's
I
like
know. It kind of puts the pressure on the comedian too, because you want to make sure it's your absolute best.
well, in theory, that should work out for everybody because the audience feels like they have invested in the night. The comedians
Yeah,
feel like there are some stakes, so they're not just going to come up there and sleepwalk through their set.
right,
Um,
right.
so I mean, there's nothing wrong with charging for tickets. I mean, like I said, everyone's doing $15 for tickets now in San Francisco. It's just, yeah,
Yeah, so there is a lot to produce. I'm learning it now. I got to get wristbands, right?
yeah. I mean, comedians
You
are like
know,
zero cost beings. It's not like we don't fucking eat and need gas and have rent to pay. It's like,
right.
how can you just expect people to put on free shows forever? I don't know.
Well,
It's
you know what it is, dude, and I don't know if you thought this when you first started comedy, but I think a lot of people think comedy is easy.
Yeah, or that anyone can do it, or that everyone has the right to do it. So why should anyone have the right to charge for it?
Right, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get in that mindset where like I think I got it down too, and then I bomb, and then you get humbled again, and you realize you gotta keep writing and changing stuff and making shit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a numbers game. I mean, everybody is inevitably going to run into a wall at some point or a pitfall and not
Yeah.
just keep stepping up and grand slamming. It's like you're going to eventually, if you're going out to all the shows, you're going to end up at one of them that's got three people, and guess what? Two of them don't like you.
Right, right,
And
right,
so, it's not, or you're just in a good room and the crowd's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not your night. You go up there and you undersell or whatever, and you just eat a
right,
dick, and then you go home with that taste in your mouth, you brush your teeth and wake up tomorrow.
right. And I think a lot of people don't realize all that.
Yeah.
They're funny with their friends. They think they're funny around everyone they know, and they think they got it. And they're like, oh, this comedian, he's not that good, or they'll heckle you, or they'll talk shit behind your back. They have no idea. I wish, like in some countries, they make people do like 1 year of military training. I wish they did that with people with comedy. Like you have to do 1 year mandatory stand-up comedy.
Oh, but think of all the people that would stay in it just because they had one good set and they're just chasing that dragon the rest of their life. Like they'll
Yeah,
ruin a good life.
yeah.
Just
Well, I
chasing one
mean,
good set.
I've been there for sure. I mean, and I see other people like open micers and stuff chasing that good set. They're getting fucked up before their set, and they think they're still having good sets, and they're not. And like you said, they're chasing that dragon. I'll get back to that one good set, and they never do. You know what I mean? Because they're not putting the work in or the discipline. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you talking about me like that? Making eye contact too. Don't hurt my feelings,
I
Alex.
was looking this
I'm
way
gonna
for a
get that
moment.
dragon, dude. I'm gonna fucking get it.
Yeah, that fucking dragon.
No, you're right though, man. But it is just about putting in the work. And it's unfortunate that audiences don't overtly understand or like respect how much work goes into like making a career out of nothing. And like with comedy anyway, like
Yeah,
you could start up a fucking pottery barn and someone's like, oh my God, like to just do that, right
right.
now, it's crazy. Good for you. And you tell someone you're a comedian, and they're like,
You hear the same thing,
tell me a joke. And it's
right?
like,
Well,
fuck you.
I hear that too though sometimes too. Like, good for you for going up there. Like, I could never go up there. There are those people though
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
those are those people. Tell us a joke, and then you tell them a joke, and then they're like, or you need to
Yeah.
work on that. They'll be a smartass. I've gotten those guys. You need to work on your jokes. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You
Yeah.
know. So,
Bring me
you
to
know,
work tomorrow, bitch. Bring me to work tomorrow. Let me fucking shadow you. Let me give you
right,
notes.
right.
Yeah, it is
I'll
funny.
make
People in the audience. I did my my new show last week,
right. Cutthroat or something.
Deep Cut.
Deep cut.
Same shit. And and
Yeah,
this dude in the
yeah,
back,
yeah.
halfway through the show, he comes up to me and he's like, Austin, how do I get on the show next week? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you just throw me up. How do I get like I'll come up, do 5 minutes. And I was like, do you do comedy? And he's like, nah, I mean, or no, at first I was like, just say, yeah, man, just send me a clip or something. He's like, I don't have a clip. And I was like, do you do comedy? And he's like, ah, he's like,
Yeah.
I have a feeling that I'd be good at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are a lot of people like that that should have to serve a year just to like
No,
have,
I've met those guys,
yeah,
and they have no clue.
yeah. God bless them though. I mean,
Yeah, they do have those shows where they have someone do 10 minutes who's never done comedy, which sounds like a disaster to me.
yeah, I mean, I agree. That's just a spectacle at that point. Go to the
Yeah.
circus.
Right. But yeah, people also don't realize producing shows is a pain. I like now like I never hound producers for shows. I never like I give producers space and like cuz I get it. They're always getting hit up by people and then just all the promoting and like work that goes in it's like it's hard to stay on top of things, you know?
Yeah, it is a headache, but sometimes someone hits you up out of the blue and they're like, hey, can I get on your show? And you like needed to fill a spot and you're like, oh, fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah.
we were just talking about this at that show in Salinas about how you got
Yeah.
to hit people up because you're usually never on people's mind. You got to remind them that
Right.
you're around.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
It's a
I
balance.
yeah, it's a balance because you want to bug the shit out of people, but you
Yeah.
can't, you know.
But you don't want to
But
be annoying. You want to be
right,
like playfully bothersome.
right, right,
Get me up there, you bitch.
right. I noticed some people's move is just to leave a comment on everyone's photo,
Yeah.
like a fire symbol or
Mm-hmm.
something, you know. Um,
Which is, that's supportive in and of it. I mean, social media sucks. It's a soul
yeah,
sucking process. So to have those people that do come through and throw up the fucking rock and roll hands or the fire emoji or whatever on
yeah.
your shit and be like, this looks dope. And,
I I always feel dumb doing the fire emoji. I'm like, I couldn't think of anything clever. I just did fire, but it's
yeah,
easier, you know. I'm on the go, dude. I don't have time to think of something clever all the time.
yeah. It's just bam, bam, bam. Looks good.
Right, right. Um, so yeah. Anyways, I got this.
Egyptians were doing. Sorry, I was
No,
gonna
no,
go
no.
on a high
Go.
riff. I was just gonna go on a high tangent and say Egyptians knew what they were doing with hieroglyphs. Like it's just sometimes it's easier. It gets it's all of that in a symbol. Boom, there it is. You
Right,
give somebody some support,
right. They came up with the emojis.
basically.
Life is easier. Dumb people came up with emojis. Just make it simple, you
Dumb,
know.
smart. It's the confluence of dumb and smart. It's like there's somewhere there is a meeting point.
Yeah.
Anyway, you
No,
were gonna
no,
say
no, for
something.
sure. Oh, just I've been kind of just stressed out with this show because I've been late with the Eventbrite and
People
wanting
don't
to.
buy tickets till a week of anyway, so you're probably fine. I mean, if you said you got it's a week away, right?
Yeah, the 20th.
I feel like most of the traffic you get is like the week of people are making plans. And
Yeah,
like you said, it's downtown. Like,
right,
yeah.
right.
And Friday night.
Yeah, I like your positivity.
Yeah, dude, you got it.
Yeah. Well, the first show is always the most nerve-wracking one, right?
It is. It
Were you
is.
nervous before your last show?
Fuck yeah, dude. We had literally 2 tickets sold on Eventbrite. And I
Wow.
was shitting my pants. The place seats 48 down there or 38. It's a kind of a small room, but it's
Yeah.
nice and intimate.
No, those are
And
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's what's really nice is we did end up getting an audience in there at the end of the night, and it's got low ceilings and it's just a fucking small tight room, so the laughs sound good. I'm
So
really excited to grow that spot.
yeah, that's dope. And they just bought tickets last minute.
Dude, so well, what we ended up doing is, and I feel bad for saying this, but we didn't tell the people who bought tickets, but we just started letting people in for free.
Oh,
There were
okay.
like people in the restaurant upstairs. There was a hotel right next door, and I was out smoking, and I ended up talking to some people that were staying at the hotel.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like by the end of the night, we had like I don't know, like 12, 14 people in there. So the room was like half full. It worked out. It's not the sold out night that I was hoping for, but for the first one, the restaurant owner guy was pleased.
Do you have issues like getting ready for your set mentally, like thinking about your material when you're running a show because you're like, I got to make sure this person sits here, like collect tickets from this person, get
Oh
people
yeah.
in there. Do you
You're
find it hard to
Yeah,
like,
dude, because you're hosting the party, not just going to the party. It's like
right?
you got to fucking mingle and schmooze and check in and check, and handle this and handle that. And I don't know. By the time I'm starting things, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. My it's my time now. And so I end up just kind of like whatever happens happens, and the plan
Yeah,
kind of goes out the window. But that can end up being fun too. Hosting is kind of a different job. It's in a way it's less about you and more about the evening and like the show.
yeah,
uh so I don't know, I gauge it as if everyone's laughing and having fun and ready for a comedy show, then I had a good hosting set. Might not be like, you know the one I'm going to clip up and be super stoked about and feel like I got to work on all my new shit and I had my attack plan. But
what are you doing? Are you doing like crowd work and then you go into your material, or like how do you do a host set?
oh well, I mean, usually I'll try to do a little something off the top to kind of
Hmm.
like this was the show happened the day after the Dave Chappelle thing happened. So I made a little,
Oh, okay.
little
Right.
riff about that. And then I just went into material. And then I don't think I did any I did a tiny bit of crowd work on this one guy. Just because he had a good laugh and I was like, hell yeah, dude, what's up? What's your deal?
Hmm.
But yeah, I kind of just started falling into the jokes, how you do sometimes you find your mouth is open and you're halfway into a setup and then you're like, okay, well, I know what comes next. And then you just, I don't know, I hate to say it's like muscle memory and you just fall into it like reflexively, but I definitely wasn't like driving with a hot plan. I was just kind of like
Yeah.
letting it all hang out, kind of
I'm
going for it.
like, it's so freaking weird. I don't know if you're the same way. I'm assuming you are. I'm like so nervous before the gig.
Mhm.
And like, it's even hard to think about what material I'm gonna do. I'm like trying to look over it, but my eyes and my mind can't even like bring in the words because I'm just like thinking, oh, when's my time to go up and all this. But once I'm up there, I'm more comfortable than a guy
Yeah.
inside his wife, you know?
Yeah, dude. It really is. It's like the moment of clarity up there. And
Right.
if you're in that spot, I don't think there's anything to worry about, man. The material, as long as you've been paying attention to what you've been writing, it'll come to you.
Yeah.
Chris Riggins, right?
Yeah.
I love him. And he was like giving me advice about this one joke. And he's like, the story you want to tell. Don't worry about hitting all the right lines and all
Mm.
he's like, obviously it's good to have punchlines, but as
Yeah.
long as you know where you're trying to go, like
Yeah.
just tell the story and the words will come and you'll find your order for everything. Because
Yeah.
the story you're trying to tell, basically. And I don't know, I try to think about that with every joke, is like, I know the station we're leaving from and the station I hope to get us to, the route I might mix up a little bit and play with and have fun with, but that's like the space I'm in up there. Like you said, that's when you're not stressed finally and just having fun. And it's kind of like exploring it with the room. It's like, what's going to happen? How's this going to
Right.
come out tonight?
Well, I think there's something to that because it seems like when you try to remember word by word, you're more nervous up there.
Hmm.
You're not as loose, and because you're worried, okay, this has got to go to this, and I got to say it this way, and that. That always throws me off. You know what I mean? But going up there kind of without a plan, even though it probably doesn't even matter because you know the jokes anyways. You just think you don't. It's
Yeah.
probably better to go up there. You know what I mean? Because I'll notice that even if I forget some stuff or have like a couple too many beers before the set and you forget a little bit, I'm a little more looser with what direction I can go into.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like the difference between presenting and performing, right? It's
Yeah.
like we've all caught ourselves in those sets where it's like, oh fuck, I'm just reading the teleprompter and presenting right
Right.
now. you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
you have the time where you're like, that was a performance. I like, you know, I knew where I wanted to go. I was, I was in the moment, in the room, and that's like the goal.
Well, you see those comedians, and I'm sure you know someone that it sounds like they're just presenting. They have no personality. They're like a robot up there. I went here because of this, da 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 do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't connect as well.
I feel like everyone's getting head fucked by somebody in their life about what someone else thinks a comedian should be. And so everyone is trying to like ape a comedian, it's like
Oh
we're
my
all
god.
trying to just be what we think someone else wants it to be, rather than, I don't know, I catch a lot of people falling into that kind of cadence where they're telling jokes, and it's like, I don't know, to the I don't know, the well-versed explorer, that doesn't need a cartographer or a map. It's like you kind of know the road as you're traveling it. You know what I
Right,
mean? It's, I don't know.
right,
Some people, yeah, like you said, they get up there and it's like, I want to see more of you come through. It's like, let me see
right,
you. Let me see your personality, not just, your notes. I
right,
could pick up your notebook and read your set. And that's what you're doing to
right,
me right now. You're reading me your notebook. It's like, where's the you?
right, right. That's why I like to do a lot of personal material.
Yeah. About
You
my
know what I mean?
penis. It's my
Right,
penis.
right, right, right. It's not
And it's not
Jada.
like yours.
It's not Jada Pickett's penis. It's mine. You know. So yeah, it's the comedy's a trip, and I just did. Well, you hit me up about it. I just did a show in Reno that was cool. The audience was like kind of
Reno.
afraid to laugh a little bit. No, they weren't Reno. What you think? It was Midtown, and it was in like kind of the hippie area.
Hmm.
I mean, it was a gay place.
Hmm.
And they had a food truck outside serving wonton tacos that were like $20 for three, and I'm like, I'm in the Bay Area. This is California.
it's
You know what I
it's
mean?
spreading. Oh no, kill it with
Like,
fire.
yeah. So the place was dope though, and I liked the guy running it, but the crowd was a little tight a little bit, and people were laughing, but I felt like they weren't fully enjoying themselves. And one comedian went up and his jokes were really funny, but it was like about his life, and he was taking you through his day and how he dealt in funny ways with his girlfriend.
Hmm.
And not everyone was laughing, but people were listening, and the stuff was like funny. And
Yeah.
I thought that was better than just trying to tell some jokes in a row. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he took you on kind of the day in his life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's that personality. That's not just going up there and repeating jokes. You're making you're you're telling Austin, this is Austin day in the life of Austin Carr.
Yeah. And that's
Here's some
really,
jokes along the way. You
and that's
know?
what people want at the end of the
Yeah.
day. They want, a character to root for, or like a narrative to follow. It's, people would watch the not the Daily Show. That's not, or the Daily Show is still on, isn't it? So yeah, they'd watch the
Yeah.
Daily Show if they
Yeah.
just wanted to hear jokes read in kind of a ba 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 like vending machine of jokes.
Yeah. Well, and we all know this. Comedy crowds can be different. The Reno one, I think people were a little stiff and they didn't know if they can laugh at stuff, dark material. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean your material is bad.
Well, their lives are dark in Reno. They've
Right,
seen
right. They probably don't want to hear
they
about
need
it,
an
right?
escape. All right.
Right. They're forming a Berkeley out there just so they escape from Reno. So I get it. But
No, it's tough. Everyone's a little sensitive right now. It's like, I
I
don't
but
know.
I don't fall in that trap anymore. I'm getting to that point as a comedian where I'm like, I know these jokes have worked before. Like I'm not gonna beat myself up that these didn't work. It's just was the circumstance.
Yeah, it
So
is. This is gonna sound stupid too, but I wish I could see uh like, I don't watch this enough when I watch clips back, but I feel like it's important to know what your face looks like when you're doing comedy.
mm,
Not for like a
that's
narcissistic
good.
reason, but sometimes,
Yeah.
like when I'm feeling unconfident in a room, I'll
Yeah.
start to kind of undersell my bits a little bit, and
Right.
then, kind of the scent or the odor of vulnerability leaks out into the room, and I wonder if it's, showing on my face. And I do wonder sometimes, like what you were saying is like, I know these jokes hit. Is it something about you guys, or is it the way I'm doing it? And I feel like
Mhm.
probably 80% of the time it is my fault. It's the way
Mhm.
I'm selling it. And it's either like
Mhm.
the energy or the way I'm saying it, or it's something about my face. You know,
Right.
I wonder if I'm like peering out into the dark as I'm trying to like search for a friendly face or something, or like read the room. And if
Yeah.
that comes across as like kind of a, I don't know, weird body language, like cross examination, like you're in an interrogation room or something, you know?
No, that's smart. I had a comedian who had been doing comedy since like the 80s, like worked with Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah.
And he told me it's all in the eyes.
Uh,
I guess maybe I wasn't he watched my set. I don't know. He didn't say I wasn't not doing it, but I think it was kind of like you're not doing enough with your face, you know?
yeah.
And I've
Well,
been doing more of that. I've been doing more of face stuff, you know?
yeah. Cause you see people when they're kind of like, I don't know, droning through a set,
Mhm.
and there isn't a lot in the eyes. And then you see people murdering and they got that glisten, you know?
Yeah.
They got the glint, the shine in their eye. So yeah, that guy's probably, or that person is probably right.
Um and you're right. There is something with performing the jokes and like and selling them because you're right. We do get in this rut, like, and you're just like up there telling them you're so sick of them. You're just like trying to get through them and you want the laughs, but you got to really be into the joke and like make it even funnier than it actually is. Like add like what you're saying, face expressions, like body motions, like
Yeah.
make the joke even better. If you're bored of it, why not add to it with something? A tag or a facial thing. It could be a tag, you know?
Yeah. But it's also like, one of those, when you're feeling sad, start faking it, and then you'll find yourself being like, if you are tired of your joke, if you just kind of like fake it and have fun with it and act like it's your first time telling it, you might actually find your way halfway through the joke having fun. I found that happen just the other night. It's like I was kind of trying to put a little extra juice on it
Yeah.
and inject some energy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, I am having fun. That's right. I do like that joke. And yeah, I feel like sometimes we do get a little jaded from the fucking 2 hour drive or whatever, stuck in traffic,
Right.
paying $100 a tank for gasoline, 120, whatever it is, like for 15 minutes for
Mhm.
$15
Right.
and for 15 people. And you're
Right.
like, you still got to show up like, it's prom.
Right. Right. No, totally. And that takes commitment, that it takes effort, and a lot of people stop or uh don't take it that next level because they just don't want to deal with that, you know?
Yeah.
They wanna, "Oh, well, I'll do shows when I want to." Like, no, you gotta be consistent out there, you know?
Yeah. And it's got to
Um,
be about them and not about you. Like, fuck how you're feeling in your shitty
right,
mood because you're in traffic. You're there to bring them the energy and change their
right,
night up.
right, they're the ones paying money. They're the ones
Yeah.
getting the babysitter.
Yeah. And then hopefully, as a byproduct, your night gets switched up because you did something good, and then everybody wins. And, that's what you should be getting out of it.
Oh, there's nothing like after doing well at a show and people had a great time, there's nothing like that feeling.
Yeah.
The
And they're like,
drive
thank
back
you.
the drive back after a comedy show is way better.
Yeah, dude.
Going there. Going there, you're like, "Why am I doing this? These jokes suck. They're gonna hate me. How much weed do I have left? Does
And on
my
the way
mom
back,
love
you're
me?"
fucking punching the roof of the car and smoking a cigarette like the Joker and flicking it at a cop. And you're like, fuck you, dude. You can't touch me. I changed lives tonight.
You're
And
driving back, you're like, "I'm gonna make it. Next is improv. I'm gonna be better than Chris D'Elia," you know?
then
I'm
it's
gonna be
Hollywood, baby. The
Yeah.
big time.
Right, right. It's funny. And then the endorphins slowly trickle down and you get home and you eat some lasagna and you sit there and you're like, shit, I need to get some more shows this month.
Yeah. And you're like, oh,
You
wait,
know?
that was my date. That was the one I
Right.
had. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you mentioned watching yourself and like picking up facial things you do or what do you need to add. It's hard for me to watch my sets or listen back. I have to get drunk or high or
Yeah.
both to listen to them. I
Yeah,
can't listen to them sober.
I'm one step ahead of you because I'm always high. That's right. I'm at a resting rev of like 3 spliffs a day or whatever. But
Hey, sleep, those keep the doctors away.
they do
So
they and the evils I hear.
yeah,
Um,
voodoo
but yeah,
doctor.
I'll just roll one up, and I'm usually just listening for like cadence and like the way I say something, and it's usually only when I'm editing one that I like want to clip up or post.
Yeah,
I cannot stand watching bad sets, and I do feel like I'm doing a disservice to myself because I should like I coached for a while,
yeah,
and one of the guilty pleasures of being a coach is that when you do unfortunately suffer a loss, you
yeah.
kind of get to rub their nose in it a little bit and have the game footage and be like, it's because of that, and point specifically
Oh yeah.
to one thing that one person did, and then you turn around, you see that Vatakis, it's because of you.
Oh yeah, we had a football coach that would do that, and he would. It was like embarrassing. He'd stop the footage and like zoom in on
Yep.
you and be like, "What the fuck you think you're doing here? You look like my sister's daughter at ballet. Like
Roll it
what are you?"
back, roll it back, let's
Oh
watch it
yeah.
again.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
yeah. And people would be dying laughing. It was like their fucking little stand up.
Yeah, I tried never to like break anyone down too bad about it, but it does help to like specifically have something to like refer to and be like, okay, that's where I fucked up, you
Yeah.
know. And then nine times out of 10 after watching film, you'd see the kids working on that exact thing that you called them out for. And so probably doing myself a disservice by not watching bad sets back and being like shaming myself.
Shaming helps. Take notes, Karens.
I know,
They
but
shame.
we're too fragile though. We're too raw. It's like giving someone a back slap that has a sunburn. It's
Right.
we're
I
already
know.
in pain after a bad set to then go watch it is like load the gun.
Well, and I think there's something to we want to protect ourselves and make us think we're better than we are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If
yeah.
I watch this set, I will realize that my I don't have that many jokes and I need to write more,
But if I never watched it, it never happened.
Right, right. And I could just because the way we'll think of our set, we'll romanticize about it. Oh, that was killer, and then you go back, you're like, that sucked. I
Hmm.
I invited my family out to that.
Yeah,
They really said good set after that. I want to kill my family.
the
You
beer
know?
goggles wear off, the hangover sets in, and you're
Right.
like, oh my god, I said that.
But you're right, shaming helps in a way,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
it's what's missing in our current society. It's like,
Right.
why do you think Japan is such a strong nation? Like with core foundations, a shame-based culture. It's like,
Right.
you know, um, yeah, I won't go down that route. But my ex-wife told me a lot about that, and it's like, it's true. It's like it does become productive to a point because you're like, well, I don't want to feel like that again.
Yeah.
Rather than building a false sense of confidence or security, and then one day the rug gets swooped out from underneath your feet, and you're just free falling.
Right.
It'd be better to like take a little fucking hit from the switch every day and build up your hide. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I that definitely has come with shows too. Like if I have a joke bomb or something, I'll just sit in it and
Mhm.
sometimes that will get laughs. I did that on the Reno show. Like it was silent and then just me like and then people started laughing. You know what I mean? So I think it is better to have that thick skin. I feel like I handle a lot but stuff better. I used to be on stage and I actually got mad a couple times at people because I had a couple people like really heckle me and I'd get pissed at them and
Yeah.
like and then ruin the show. You
Well,
know?
yeah, dude. I went to New York one time, and there was this lady that ran shows out there, and she's like this old, just classic Brooklyn lady. Not old. She's in like her 40s, 50s. But I asked her how my set was after I fucking bombed, and it's like, why? I just was, I
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get some notes and
Right.
and show face with this lady, and put my
Yeah.
tail between my legs and go up and hope to get a little pet.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, you didn't motherfuck the crowd. And I was like, what does that mean? I've never heard that. And she goes, it's when, people they go up there bombing and they go, you motherfuckers this, you motherfuckers that, you motherfuckers wouldn't know funny if I smacked my dick out and hit you with it. And she's like, you didn't motherfuck the crowd. And it's like, yeah, sometimes, when you get heckled or you bomb, you start to kind of take it out on them. But if you instead sit back and do exactly what you did and like, and have a little
Right.
self-awareness, people are like, oh, thank God he's not.
Well, and I think there's like a way to like hate on the crowd too, because I've seen people. I think I've done it too, where you just say like "fuck you" to the crowd,
Oh
and then
yeah, well
they
you can do
laugh, and
that.
then they
Yeah, you can
laugh.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, no. But those, when I got mad at the crowd, those were extreme measures, and I was like new into comedy and just didn't know how to handle them.
Yeah.
You have to go through that stuff um, to learn, how to deal with it, obviously. So, um, yeah, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, it's a ride, man. It's a fucking journey, and you learn all sorts of shit just by making a bunch of mistakes.
Um, how long you been doing comedy?
This is my 5th year.
When,
So
what,
d-
what made you decide to do a CD? Or
uh
we don't even call them CDs anymore. We call them albums.
oh, the old record.
Yeah. What
The
made you
old
do the A
vinyl press.
track? Which made you do the A track?
Well, I have the all of the video from that night too, and so I've been
Oh,
clipping that
okay.
up and posting the individual jokes and clips on like TikTok and YouTube and shit. So I was like, I have the video. I'm just not gonna like come out and say that this is my special because
Right.
I don't know, it felt special to me and it is, but it's not like, I'm putting this out there to say that I'm somebody. Like it's that I'm somebody, but not like, I don't know, just it felt too egotistical to call it a special and to
Right.
release a 30-minute special, quote unquote, on YouTube or
Right.
whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna call it, my first album. You want to call it a live recording, whatever. This is like my mixtape, this is the underground years. This is when I was struggling or like working through
Right.
my shit. And it's also like I wanted to record a lot of my earliest jokes about like my divorce and things that I was going through as I was
Right.
getting into comedy that I don't talk about anymore,
Yeah.
and
Good
just kind of
call.
like,
Yeah.
fucking hang it up on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's really, you shouldn't even call it a special or live recording. It's just like telling jokes that I'm not going to tell anymore.
Yeah. This is my first
Retiring
album. There
jokes.
will be more,
Retiring jokes.
hopefully.
It's a
I'm yeah,
retirement party. It's a retirement
exactly.
party.
Exactly.
Yeah, I commend you for that, dude. So you
Well,
released it independently.
yeah. Well, thank you for that. It was very nerve-wracking, and also I don't know, I'm always going to feel some kind of way about it because it's just like, well, that's it forever now. That's, that's the first impression handshake. And there's always things you're going to wish that you did differently. Again, some of them are really old jokes. Some of them I have, tagged differently since then. But yeah, I just wanted to do, I wanted to do it on my own. Like I wanted to do it independently, like you said. And I just wanted to
Was you
show people, and it's not like everyone's watching or anything, but if even one person took note of what I did and saw, oh shit, you don't need, money bags and a fucking record label and an agent and a manager and sold out Madison Square Garden to record an album. You can just have, a headlining road gig, bring your own recording equipment, and then, pay one of these websites like TuneCore or DistroKid or whatever, $50, and then there's your album.
where'd you record it?
I recorded it at Improv Mania in Arizona. It's like a small little black box theater. This guy David Specht runs it, and he's a really nice guy. But it's also like a youth center slash improv place. So it was, in retrospect, probably not where I wanted to do my full spectrum joke. But
Right, right, right. Were there Karens in the audience?
there was, I remember distinctly, there was one lady off to the left that I think I got like 3 times throughout my half hour. But other than that, everyone was really fun and supportive, and it was just a good room. So I kind of walked away from that night and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put this one out.
Oh, and the other thing too is you gotta give yourself a break too with the fact that you don't even have fans quite yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a couple. I have a couple. I ran actually into like the one fan I have when I was up in
Uh-huh.
Reno. I ran into one in South Lake Tahoe. The
Hell
one I
yeah.
have because
Hell
he goes
yeah.
to Sally Tomato shows.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, so that was cool. That was cool. I was like, well, maybe I am Tom Segura. I don't know what's going on here.
Dude, it's
But
a,
what I
it's
was
a
gonna say,
grassroots. Go ahead.
right? Well, what I was gonna say is, you recorded an album basically with like people that were just going to a comedy show that don't even know you. So to me, like the laughs you got, I think are even more impressive because a lot of these comedians record albums and it's like they're just gonna laugh at whatever because they love that guy. They're a fan. They saw him in a movie. They listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going
Yeah.
in there. They don't. Who the fuck is Austin Carr? Oh, it's something to do.
Yeah.
Improv Mania, you know.
Yeah, no, and exactly. That's kind of like, again, I just went to the bar next door with my buddy that came with me, and we were having a drink, and I was like, that felt like, exactly like you said, you go out and conquer a random ass room. And it was
Yeah,
very like, yeah, there was a lady that didn't like me, but the rest of these people that didn't know me from Adam, I won them over. And I probably
right,
left with a couple of fans. And it's like,
right,
it's not my mom in there laughing. So,
right, right. No, no, seriously. Yeah. I mean, that was could have been my mom in the corner
oh,
for
dude, and it
sure.
has been my mom at so many of my shows. And I love my mom for supporting me and coming out to the shows. And she loves to laugh. And my dad loves to get high with the comics. And
Oh, that's
it's,
cool.
yeah, it's nice to have supportive family, but I did want to just like go somewhere else where
Yeah.
nobody knew my name and just be like, if this goes well, then that tells me that I can do this in any city, in any state.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah. So you just put it out there independently, got a art cover put on, and bada bing, you're in the universe.
Bada bing, you're out there. I got my little
Cool.
flag on the moon.
That's cool. Yeah, you know what's cool about that and about kind of what we're doing with having all this media surrounding us is we are, if we stick with it, we are recording our journey from the start to the end or wherever we're going to be. And that's pretty cool because comedians in the past, they don't have as much footage
Yeah.
of them when they first started out. I would have loved to see a lot of these comedians when they first start out. It would probably inspire
Hmm.
people more. I mean, some of these podcasts I listen to, it's like a college class. They're telling how comedy is, things they've experienced. And I think that's helping people become better comedians. And what we're doing is going to inspire the younger generation. They're going to be even better because they're hearing all the little "don't do this, don't yell Jew,"
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I hope so, man. And just to see that it can be done. Like that was really, as much as I wanted to put something out for me, and I put it out on my mom's birthday, I wanted to do something for her. I'm an only child, I'm a comedian, I'm a disappointment, but I wanted to like do something to make her proud.
Yeah,
But as much as I was doing that for me and her, I wanted to do it for anybody that was taking note that it doesn't take all of these supposed stars aligning. It can take just some fucking sweat on your brow and a sore back, but hard work will get it done.
yeah. No, I see you do that with the producing too. I mean, and like I've seen the little producing I've done, it does help your comedy game. I mean, A, you got a place to work out your material, but B, it helps network with other comedians. But it's fucking hella work, and you got to put in that extra work, and it's just like what you're saying. It's the work that's gonna make you feel good.
Yeah, man. It's the juice. The juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh, I love the juice. I mean the juice. Yeah, both, both.
Both of them, all of them.
Yeah. Um, Trying to think of if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Well, what's the name of the album? Where can people like find it and stuff?
It's called Nice to Meet You. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazonia, all the fun, all the hits, the major ones.
Okay, go, yeah, go check that out. And we're gonna probably end with a story
Hell yeah.
that you're gonna tell.
Oh.
What was your worst bomb?
Oh man. Uh
Time, date, place,
yeah.
age.
Oh dude, it was my second show at Cobb's.
Okay.
Um Not that I was producing, I hadn't started producing it. I had just gotten into comedy. My first show at Cobb's was did you ever do the There Goes the Neighborhood shows?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
bombed at one of those too.
Oh, yeah, when we all
Hey,
have, baby.
hey, you bomb when the camera guy's giving you advice.
Yeah. He's just whispering into the camera, like, make sure that you tag that joke. uh it was my so that was my first show. My second one was a Kabir show.
Okay, yeah,
And it was like around 4th of July, summertime. I don't know why I remember that, but I had invited some of my high school friends. It was like still that time where like people are excited that you're doing comedy,
yeah.
and you're like you're just starting to post flyers, and they're like, oh shit, dude, it's you, it's your fucking, I know that guy. They're all like, I know that guy. It's that stage. It's like that's what's so funny about comedy. You start there, you go through a fucking valley, and then hopefully you come full circle and you end there where people are like, I fucking know that guy. But yeah,
So
so
true.
um these girls from my high school water polo team came out, and they're holding it down in like the third row. So it's like just far enough that like they're my audience. That's what I'm seeing. It's who I'm throwing to. And whole set, it's like, when I don't know if we met each other thank God when I started doing a little better in comedy. But when I started, it was about a joke about how I think I killed my grandfather. Um, that it was also about him having Parkinson's, so I got a little sad. And then it was about my divorce, and real the hits. Like you're
God,
just
jeez.
riding the highs.
This
And
sounds like a funeral set.
yeah, I was like a Make-A-Wish kid. It's like at the end of the night, my pulse just goes flat, and they're like, at least he had this night. But I closed on a 9/11 joke, and
Just really put in the depression, just to really kick in the
just out of
depression.
nowhere, it's all this personal stuff about my family, my divorce, and then I'm like, but about 9/11 though.
You want to cry? You want to be upset, audience? Let's go.
Jet fuel, steel beams, can we talk about Tower 7? But I just remember making like horrific amounts of eye contact with those high school friends as I'm delivering this joke. And it's like, you're too far in. You just got to keep saying the words. And they're just like trying to will you off the stage, or like your mouth shut with their eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've never come back to another show since then. So that one's burned in the brain.
Oh man, yeah, I hate those. I really actually I can't stand when family and people show up.
Yeah.
I
I
hate to say that out loud, but it's especially when it's like intimate. Like my wife, I don't know why I'm whispering, but my wife, her uncle and aunt came out to a show, and it was at Copper Spoon, and hardly anyone bought tickets. It was an early show,
mhm.
and it was like a biracial couple with two black teenage daughters and like two other people, and then the aunt and uncle. And this is their first time seeing me.
Oh no.
I was avoiding eye contact. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't get a rhythm with the jokes because no one's really laughing. They're just watching me like it's Netflix. I look over to the black teenage daughters. They're looking at me like I'm Hitler's son. You know what I
They're like,
mean?
he is a crime against
Yeah,
humanity.
yeah. They're like they put in the iPod fucking
Oh,
headphones when
fuck
I went
that.
on.
Yeah, you
I
got to
mean, it
just
was
start crowd working
terrible.
your family at that point.
Well, I didn't. I was avoiding looking at him because I'm like, this is this is bad. And I told him after, I'm like, you need to come to another show. I mean, this is not comedy. But you don't that happen. I mean, Copper Spoon could be packed out, or it could be, that's all shows. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be like hardly anyone. So yeah, it's stress when family and people come. But then sometimes you do better. Like my wife came out to see me once, and I felt like I did better
Yeah.
because
And
she
it
was
puts some
there.
respect on your name around the house.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think
Do you guys have
thinks any
kids?
highly of me. Yeah, yeah, we got one kid.
She's like, don't bother daddy. He's writing. He's a very busy man. All right. She's like giving you all this space and respect about your career now that she's seen you kill it. She's like, he's doing what he needs to do in there. All right. I got you. I'll take care of dinner tonight. I got the chores.
Well, that's a good day. That's a good day.
That's a good day. You're right.
She's
I'm
also in school too, so I got to do a little bit of the work and help her calm down. But yeah, no, it's a mix of give and take. You have to have that in a relationship if you're with a comedian.
Oh yeah.
Not too many women could deal with that, and even when you're married in a comedian, it's like it's tough. Like the Reno show, I didn't text enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she's like, "You text me at 3 in the morning. What were you doing?" And I was so tired. We watched a movie after the show. The house we stayed at had a movie theater, and we were just bullshitting. And I think like we don't get their perspective. Like, could he be doing something? And I'm like, look at me. You know what I mean? I'm not
You
making.
know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so
But I know,
that's
yeah,
tough, dude. It's just tough to deal with it because you don't realize stuff. I mean, it's a lot of you have to overly communicate, and you're a man of divorce. You know that.
I do. Yeah, I failed once, never again. Yeah, I
It's
shook a girl's hand too long one time after a show when my lady was there, and she was just like looking at me like, "You gonna let that go?"
right, right. Oh well, you're dating, so yeah, you probably still have to deal with some of it,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
jealousy,
The
right?
territorial kind of pissings, or what wasn't that a song? Territorial pissings.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm sure it is.
that's
I'm
my
sure it is.
ADD.
Well, what you gotta do, you gotta get fat and bald, and
Yeah.
then you'll convince them that no ladies are hitting on you. That's why I wear goofy shirts like this. Plus, I gotta wear this because the mom gave it to me, and she still helps with the rent. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like, I'm branded. I gotta rep it. I'm
No,
sponsored.
I need merch. I need to get in the merch, but we're gonna have to wrap it up here.
Yeah,
I
Dougie.
got laundry I gotta take out in the dryer, but we'll have to do a part two. I know we
Yeah.
kind of just got into comedy. Sometimes I talk about random other stuff. You know, I wanted to talk was it Roe versus Wade, but
Yeah, thank God you were ready to ask my opinion on that. Yeah, sorry to spare
kill them
everyone of that.
all, kill them.
Sorry to spare everybody of my really educated take on Roe v. Wade. Tune in next time to find out.
No, they want to hear the comedy, so that's what we kind of stick to when I have a guest.
I think if you're
Um,
going to make abortion illegal pre-birth, then you have to legalize abortion post-birth so that if you've got a shitty kid, you have the right or maybe even the duty to kill
yeah, I like that. I like that.
it.
That's a good dark joke. That's a good dark bit.
There you go, Mom. Enjoy that one, Mrs. Woody.
Oh God, she's unsubscribing as we speak right now. All right, Austin, it was good talking to you, and come back again.
Hell yeah, Alex. Thanks for having me on, man.
Okay, adios.
Adios.
Okay, this podcast has been brought to you by Silvertongue Audio. Go to silvertongueaudio.org. You will see my podcast there free of charge. You'll see Dazed and Disturbed, which is a dark podcast that shines light with the help of Mary Jane. It's really fun and spooky at the same time. So check out that. And then the NPC podcast, non player character podcast. It's a video game podcast. They also talk about addiction, something I have no idea what that's about. I have no idea what addiction, what is that? You know, definitely have never dealt with that at all, you know. So go check out NPC, Days and Disturbed, and Midnight in the Bay, all at silvertongueaudio.org. That's been Austin Carr. I'm Alex Woody. We'll catch you next week. Thanks.